Guys, I am ExactChaos and welcome back to another episode of Workers and Resources over the Republic. This is the rise of Cornoe and this is the lovely Atomograd plant which we've energized in the last episode. We're barely using any power from it though, because it's not properly kind of connected to everything. So we'll have a little bit of a look at that to try and improve the situation a little bit today. But it should already mean that we're not going to have rolling blackouts or anything like that. And by the way, let's quickly have a look at that while we're at it. We're trying to have a bit of a look at the megawatts here. So if we have a quick look at this, we're not seeing anything flicker at the moment, which is kind of where we saw it in the past. So at the moment, it's looking pretty good. There's something here that is not drawing any power because it's not completed yet, and that's why it's the case. So I think for the time being, that is kind of working. Our money is kind of rolling in at the moment. But what we want to make sure we do is continuously deliver additional nuclear fuel here, at least for a little while, until such time as we can, until such time as there's a bit of a backlog in this situation here. This guy is doing, this guy is going to go and grab the UF6 over here if there is any. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, there is UF6 over there that can be brought over here, and then that can take the nuclear fuel that we can see over here all the way over there. Now, there's a building on fire, and that's in Atomograd. It's a power substation. It should be resolved. What I am also looking at the moment is, let's have a quick look over here. Okay, so we really can't bring a road up here, but what I thought we might do, and while we're at it, let's quickly extend the rail, keeping it paused just for a little bit. So let's extend the rail. What did we want to do with the rail? I'm not too sure exactly where the rail is going to go. It's obviously not going to go straight into this. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I want to definitely get rail to go in that direction, and I guess what we should try and do is try and kind of cut across here potentially. So anyway, what we'll do is we'll extend it a little bit, right, all the way up to there, right, and we will probably get that going. And then at the same time, I thought what might be useful is if we actually bring it out like this. But maybe what we should do is we should kind of bring it out on this side, right? Yeah, I think kind of something like, actually, if we curve it like that, and we then, okay, so let's leave it there. And instead we try and, wow, it's really not wanting to. Okay, well, can we do, let's look at this, right? Okay, that's okay. Let's trim this back just a little bit. So we'll do something like that. And now we'll try and tie it in like so. Wow. Okay, fine. Let's park it there then. Let's bring this one out, and what we'll do is we'll go and, wow, it's really quite painful to look at it this way, right? It just doesn't feel like it's got the right kind of angles and stuff. I know I'm being a little pedantic about this. Let's go back all the way there. That looks pretty natural. And then the idea is let's do something like that. And I guess that does look fairly natural there, right? And this one then allows us to get to this point. We go around there and we tie it in this spot. That's fine. Oh, we don't even need both of them because it's only like a one section there. Interesting. Let's just go back here. Yeah, so this guy really doesn't need to do anything funny. And then the question is just, do we do the same thing on this side? Potentially we just do that. Okay, well let's there should be sufficient stuff here. So let's do that. Let's get rid of this one. Around this corner here we'll tie... is that a little bit too... Okay, fine. Sorry, I'm now getting a little bit off topic here. So I'll do a little something like this. Yeah, I think that's okay. And then on this side we're going to do the same thing. Wow. Does not quite want us to get here. So we'll do that, right? So we'll do that. We'll get that moving. Then we should be able to put some stuff in there. So what I might do is I might just do the the mixed signal here. If I can. It's like that, yeah? Okay, good. And then same over here. Actually, what did we do? Well, on this side, the other way around, something like that. Yep, yeah. Oh, actually, that's a double chain here. And I guess then it's double chains on that side as well. No, not actually. This one will be a mixed signal like this. Okay, well that's okay. What we'll do at the same time, I think what I might do is I might just go ahead and pay for this if it's not saving. So let's pay for that. I'll just pay for all of this, right? So we'll do all of that, do a little bit of a payment going on. Our money is quite reasonable, so we're okay. Let's go and do a chain, and then a couple of blocks. Block. Okay, so now we've got, I think that's set up pretty well, and then we just do basically some of these guys, right? So we'll do something like this, and like that, and like that. Okay, so now this is set up so we can actually have trains coming in from both sides, and I guess that's a reasonable position to be in. Okay, so we will not really be able to get stuff to go in here. We've got this. Can this pick up? Oh, this can pick up stuff. So if we add garbage trucks, it could be able to pick up the waste over there, but nothing is actually assigned. So let's quickly have a look from a vehicle perspective. Do we have any garbage trucks that we can immediately use? And the answer to that question is no, we do not. There's a lot of additional, well, not a lot, but there is some additional stuff here. So let's let us do garbage trucks first. Then let's remove this from the plan for now. We'll get those in place. Hopefully that does it. We will move this one to the back. I don't even know if we need it. Let's just take that one out for now, and the rest of this can just kind of slowly do its thing. That one doesn't need to be up there. That one can come back even further, really. Do something like that. We don't need that straight away. We can do a few of those cars. Dumpers and the likes might be useful. Refrigerator trucks, certainly not yet. Buses. Buses is the one. Let me put buses all the way at the end, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to just move it again. Right? Really? Is buses going to be... Okay, there it is. Now, from a buses perspective, if we go in here and we grab buses, we're just going to at least extend that to like 6, and then after that we'll move it back in there, right? Buses will be pretty useful for us to get that. Okay, so let's speed things up a little bit so things can keep moving. We should get workers and the likes over here. This is now not done yet, but should be done really soon, and people will start moving in. Then we can have a quick look to see if this area can sustain any more kind of a broad population. I think we should be in a reasonable position. Yeah, there they go. They've moved in. It's another 63 people moving in right over there. This is at about, let's go with the more conservative one at about 64%. Power is exactly at 100. Ooh, this one is 125. So I guess we're not quite out of the woods yet from a power perspective, right? If we go underground here, if we've got both of them already in there, Now, if we have a quick look at this, how far can these guys walk? So I think we could put another cluster of buildings in here. Now, can we do something interesting from a path perspective? And one of the things that I'm thinking we should do is we should put a little path tunnel in here as well. So if we were to go with pedestrian tunnel, I'm pretty sure we'll be able to make this work. If it's like that and like this. What's happening over here? So from there to here, right? Okay, so with that in mind, we'll do that as a tunnel, so that the pedestrian tunnel also works at this area. And then from there, we will kind of slowly wrap our way around here. But I guess we may want to allow for one road connection in here. So let's do that. Maybe, did we want to do straight in there? Or did we want to do... I think let's do a connection. No, let's not do that. Let's do a connection straight in here. We'll do it something like that, and then we'll do a little bit of a cul-de-sac at the end here. So something like that, and we'll cul-de-sac it there at the end. I may go ahead and pay for that, but let's just do the cul-de-sac thing first. So if we did our very stock standard, so I want to do it pretty tight like that. Okay. That doesn't seem to want to do the trick. So if we did this and we did that, doesn't seem to want to work either. Okay, let's try that again. We should be able to find something to work here. Oh, maybe we just needed to go a little bit wider. Maybe we weren't being quite aggressive enough with our turn. Yeah, I think that's the case, right? So now we'll do that, and we'll tie that in like that. It's actually going to be pretty good. So let's assign all of that for construction. So at least we have a little cul-de-sac in here that we can make use of. And then at the same time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just add some of these pathing here. So we won't necessarily have additional areas. Why? Really? You don't want to go... You're being... That's quite unique, that. Anyway, that's fine. We'll move it there. We'll move it back. We'll move it in there. And we'll try and move something like that. I think that's pretty reasonable. And then at the same time, we'll also do something like this, really. Okay, so we'll do something like that. Okay, and I'll go ahead and pay for all of that. I know it's a little bit more pricey to get all of this built, but I'd rather get our next little area going. And then what we'll do is we'll make a room for a little path to go out that way. And I guess what we'll do is we'll continue to run maybe this path up here and alongside this one. Well, if we wanted to build stuff in there, we will need to do that. So let's, but we may not want to get quite as aggressive with it. So let's pay for that, okay? And then at the same time, what we might do is we might just add a crossing point over here and tie it in there. We'll pay for that. So at least there's ways of getting to these various places. I might run straight through the middle here as well. Okay, that's not going to work, so let us cancel that. And what we'll do is we'll try and do... Oh, I've now... Come on. There was a little option here, right? So we'll do that, and we'll run it straight across here. And then we could potentially do a direct cross... Oh, no, that's not even going to work. Okay, so we'll pay for that. So at least we've got some paths doing its thing. We'll go ahead and build this also. And then that gives us some additional areas where we can actually do some stuff, right? What happened over here? There's a pollution warning in Vasestavi. That's fine. We have observed dangerous acute symptoms in severe cases of this infection. The disease is causing serious health complications. This disease is contagious enough to infect many citizens, so our hospitals need to be prepared. It seems this is just a seasonal event, according to our experts. This infection should disappear soon. Do we have multiple stories with regards to this? We had some electricity problems, which we will slowly start to look at. Yeah, I can't really see any other items there. I'm not going to really look into that in a lot more detail. And then let me just do maybe one more little slither of path down this area, and maybe one more across like that. And we'll pay for that. And that gives us pretty good coverage, just I would say all around here. Okay, so with that in mind, now we need to go and install a few more things. So what I thought, we may want to do something like another kindergarten over here somewhere. So if we go with a smallish kindergarten, yeah, that's fine. That will work in this area. We don't have water and sewage here, so we will need to look at an improvement for that. So we'll place that one over there. Let's have a quick look. If we look at this kindergarten should be able to tell us a few different things, right? So let's do, oh, we can't do that, right? So can we do this? Really? Oh, okay. Well, we'll do this, right? And then we'll do that, and we'll do that, and we'll pay for all of those, right? So I just wanted to check. Now, if we went to this building, can we walk all the way there? Yes, we can. So any other buildings in this area should work. The problem here is the clinic is a little bit out of reach, so we might need to do another kind of small clinic somewhere. I might even do it on this side. Let's just have a quick look at our levels. So we should be able to potentially do another smallish clinic over here. Kind of think that's my plan. So we don't need it necessarily very close by, but there's area here that we could use for further expansions, though people might not be able to get to the train station, but we could use that. So let's just grab ourselves a smallish clinic. I mean, not tiny. We want like a reasonably sized clinic. 25, 20. I mean, 60 is about right. 15 is... Well, 15 gives us, you know, at least gives us spots, right? So potentially 15. And if we look at this, yeah, 15, and then we can do this. Yeah, I'd rather do it like that. So we'll have that one in there. That's a smallish kind of clinic. We don't want the one way. We want this, and then ultimately we want it to go in there. So what we'll do is we'll run this one down here, and we'll provide a level of road connectivity in here that could then further expand. And what we'll do is we'll try and tie those together. What we'll do is we'll pay for this. So we'll kind of get that underway, and we'll get the rest of the construction to slowly do its own thing. But what I thought may be necessary, I don't think we'll... Ooh. Did we want to do that? I mean, it makes sense to do that so we don't cross in this location, but I guess we'll cross also, right? So if we did this and we did... Oh, man, that's going to be beautiful. And then we'll slowly come down over on this side. Yeah. Do something like that and tie that one in. And at the same time, we might want to do probably something like this and run this one down here, right? So let's do a bit of payments like that to get that underway. So at least now, presumably things will start moving in this area as well. Okay, so that's good. Now, what we can do to kind of maximize our space planning here, we can grab one of these and tie it in kind of directly somewhere over here, right? Let's do it like that. I guess that will work, and then we'll give it a bit of a road connection in there because it needs it. We'll pay for that, and at the same time we'll give it a tie in there and a tie in there, and we'll pay for those. So at least that's now starting to happen. And now we can kind of fill up some more buildings in this area, right? But we will need to put another piece of power infrastructure in here, and we'll need to do some more additional water and sewage, which is not anywhere nearby, which is a little bit of a bummer. Okay, so water and sewage is going to be a little bit of a challenge. Power is not a problem at all. Okay, so let's just go and have a quick look. Don't pause it. I keep pausing it for any kind of reason. I just keep pausing it. But what we'll do is we'll go underground and we'll try and find some water connectivity. So let's go and start with, well, we need to really start with the sewage stuff, right? So first things first is the sewage splitter, which I want is kind of this one, right? The sewage switch. But we need to be able to understand at least what our levels are. So if this is 6, that's actually 5. And then this is 6 again. Okay. So that's a bit of a bummer. This is 5. This is 4. So if anything, we're going to run it parallel through this way. Okay, so that could work, right? So let's do ourselves, get some sewage switches going on. Kind of, I think, right over here, really. So if we do that, and we do this, that should give us some reasonable connectivity, right? So that should work. And then this should work also. No, it doesn't want to work? I thought it would work. Okay, fine. Let's demolish that one. We still have citizen happiness low thing going on there, which is something we're working on. Okay, so let's try. If we do it up here instead, maybe that would work. But let's do this one first. It's not going to work. What? I thought I looked at this. Just give me the level, right? The level here is 5.66. Oh, 6. Ooh. No. 6.7. Even this is super duper. Well, we can make it work. All we need to do is obviously give it a pump, right? So it's not that bad. We just need to sort it out, right? So let's quickly go in here. I hate those messages. I can switch them off. I know I can switch them off, but it's like there's important stuff and then there's so much unimportant stuff. So I guess what I'm thinking is something like this really could work. It's fairly close to it, right? So what we'll do is if we can get the autosave to stop, all we do is that, and then we tie this one in like this, and we tie that one in like that, and we tie this one in up to there, and then up to there, and that should be okay, right? So that should work. And then what I wanted to do is get us the actual sewage piece here, which I guess I'm wondering if I place it here whether it's going to work. I haven't actually tested it. It will work. Oh, no, that's a switch. Oh, interesting. So where is the sorry, let me just get the right thing here so we can actually see how far we're picking up here. I am looking for this thing. Okay. So I'm looking for this thing. If I place it, I'm hoping if I place it over here somewhere, it can make it work. Because we would like to pick that one up too. Okay, so let's do that. And let's try this. It does, in fact, work. I guess we could do it this way. Then we can do another one still. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. Anyway, we'll do it that way. Because we're more likely to bring it in from that side in here. So, okay, so we can go ahead and pay for all of that. I'm not even going to lie. I'm just going to get that paid for. And then we can tie these things in here. so that we can make sure that we're maintaining them. So that should work. So at least we've got sewage connectivity. This will need to have biological waste as well. We'll need to do some other bits and pieces here also. Okay, so that's the one. We'd also then need water. Water is at least quite a bit easier to deal with. So let's quickly go and have a look at where our water connectivity could come from. Yeah, we've kind of messed it up over there. So what I might do is I might do one here and then say one there and one like this. Okay, so that should be able to give us all the water connectivity we need. All we do is we run it straight through like that, we run it straight through like this, and we run it straight through over there. And I'll again go and pay for that so that we make sure we've got all of this straight away. Oh, what we obviously need, of course, is a water substation. And I'm guessing, you know, a little something like this is going to be just fine. Okay, so let's do that. We want to make sure to tie them together over here, pay for that connection, and we will want to make sure to give both of these guys a little bit of connectivity here, right? And actually the others needs it as well. So this one needs some connectivity over there. This one I think was connected, and then this one is fine. Okay, so this is actively under construction, I guess, but what we'll do is we'll go ahead and pay for a few of these things. They are not too pricey, so I guess we can just do our best to try and get them. Well, they seem pretty inexpensive, so it's fine. So now all of this is up and running, so now we should be ready to go and get some stuff, right? If we go in here, we can also go and pay for that, pretty inexpensive, and that, and this. Okay, so now water and sewage, and actually we need to also do this one, and this one also needs a little bit of a pathway. Actually, both of these need pathways. Okay, and we'll just tie it in over there so it can potentially get some maintenance in the meantime. Okay, so all of this stuff is kind of underway here now. Now, what we wanted to do is we need to provide power, and I thought power might be pretty useful if we just do it right in here potentially. So can I squeeze it? No, it doesn't seem like it can. But what we can do is we can certainly do it, say something like this. Right, we can do something like that. We can give it a bit of a pathway in there, and then we'll just tie it in with the medium voltage cabling from right over here, right? We'll do that, pay for that, and I think we can just as well go and pay for that. Okay, so now power infrastructure is here, ready to go. Water, sewage, everything is good. Plus we've got staff and everything starting to arrive. We're actually building this pretty quickly. Now, the one thing that we're not going to have in this area is heating. We may actually have heating up to here, and then we'll have some problems. What I might try and look for, like we've got heating in the form of power heating, right? A small heat exchanger, a large, so this one uses power. A small heat substation, a large heat substation, heat exchanger. I'm looking for a, what does this do? This actually gives us something, but how much does it give us? Let's just have a look. So this gives us 300. That's one smaller, actually. What? I guess then we need to use the... Small heat substation. I'm thinking we're just going to do something like this, right? So that we'll use power to heat a little area down here. That was kind of my thinking, just to make sure we... Anyway, we'll come back to that if we need it. At the moment, we're going to try and cope with what we've got. What do we have here? Plenty of extra room. Okay, so now we're actually going to go ahead and build some actual apartments over here. And we're going to go with a slightly medium size, so maybe something like this. What did we say this was? 84%, 63. Can we do a little bigger? Yeah, maybe something like this is going to be a little bit better. Ooh, it would look pretty cool if we can squeeze it in over here. But I guess we won't be able to. Yeah, so unless we really pull them in like this. So I'm guessing potentially... Okay, this is might then be a little bit small. Can we then do something slightly larger? That's a little bit not impressive enough in terms of our yeah, so people really don't like some of their quality is just not quite great. 80 for these, what do they look like? I mean, oh, I think that could potentially work, right? And that's at 80, right? Yeah, 80 is not too bad, but I prefer like a 85 or something. Yeah, so maybe something like that at a 85. This is a 90. Okay, well, let's do that. Let's do a little bit of this then. What I just don't like about those is that they've got a little... That's 75. That's 80 at a 180. I guess maybe something like this could be useful. It's a little bit more in keeping with the theme that we've got here, right? So can we squeeze something? No, we can't. So what I'm thinking is that, right? Oh, it's got a single... Yeah, I don't really like it. So if we were to try and move it... Okay, so I guess we could do that, right? So if we were to try and move it and get it right up against it here, we'll get some trees in between. We'll flip this one around. And we'll do something like that. Okay, and then we want to do... Which we're picking this one. Yeah. Brick house 4B. Was there something a little bit smaller on the brick houses? Panel house. Did we have a slightly smaller brick house option here? I was wondering. There needs to be, right? I think as part of those... Brick house 18. Let's have a look. So now this one is just kind of smaller, right? So if we go and have a look at this one. So brick house, this one is 80 and it's got 85. But this one is... Oh, also 80, but it's got 180. So we'll leave a little bit of a gap there. So we'll do something like 3 of them like this. And would we add something there? No, we would not. So then what I might do is I might just add... Let's do it like... Give ourselves one there, and we'll flip it around and put... kind of one over here, right? So we'll do something like that. That should give us quite a bit of extra people here. So what we'll do is we'll run this little path through here. Tie that in. Okay, that's fine. That one will have to go down there. And then we'll run it down like this, right? So that should be okay. We'll get them to tie in. We'll get the paths to be built. So let's build all of those paths. And then the construction can start over here. Similar time we can do this. We'll pay for that. And then we'll see. Maybe we'll do some open space and things here. But there's at least an additional bunch of stuff that can happen here. Now, if we look at this now... Just wanted to check. So from a heating perspective, we've got a problem here. Though these are okay from a heating perspective. So I guess the problem with this one is that we will actually need something like a... like this, right? Which I guess is going to take a fair bit of... Oh, that's not what I'm after. I'm looking for something here that's electrically powered. These are substations, right? So we do still need to bring the heating in. Yeah, that's not actually what I'm after. I thought we were looking for... I thought we had a... Ah, here we go. Efficient electric heating. But I thought we had something a little smaller. Heating output. Well, what about this one? Yeah. No, so I don't want anything major. I want a tiny little electric heating plant. 2 gigajoules worth of heating, right? So something like this only. So that's kind of what the plan is, right? So I want to try and produce some heating from it over here, right? So let's do that. We're going to try and... For some reason this guy wants to provide heating miles away. So if we placed it somewhere over here, right? So let's... Oh, it's not powered there, so it's not even going to be worth our while in that situation. So I want to try and push it in where it will be powered. So let's just do it there, right? And we'll give it a little bit of a path connection, just something tidy like this, right? And we'll place that in there. We will... Actually, I'll just pay for that to get that built. Cost us a little bit of money, but at least now heating should be all good for all of this, right? Because we're getting it managed from over here, right? And it's trying to move the heat to all of these various areas. But anyway, that's okay. So I guess that should be a little bit more sufficient to try and get us there. What I would like to maybe add to this area is just a little bit of kind of culture, right? If there's like a little library or something we can add to the mix here. There are some small libraries and the likes that we can squeeze in. What is this? A Republic Theatre. Other theatres. So some of these things are pretty large. I'm not going to necessarily head down that path, but if we can do... kind of small little cultural buildings in some of these areas. So something like that, for instance, is okay. We'll have a little cultural building in the end there, and hopefully that gives us a little bit to go on. I wanted to pay for that, and then this guy should deal with itself. Okay, now we have a clinic, so let's quickly see. There are still some ambulances over here. There should be, at least. So let me grab at least one of them. And we'll just move one ambulance into that spot there, so at least we can make a start on that. These buildings will slowly start to get built. We've got some fire stations and the likes over here. So all of that should be okay. We should have a reasonable amount of passengers ready to go. Let's quickly pop back over here and see what's going on. We have got ample... Ample? Do we have ample? I think there seems to be a fair bit of nuclear fuel available here. I can't actually see it being stockpiled anywhere. Yeah, no, I can't seem to see it anywhere, but that's okay. And then I wanted to double check. This guy is ready to go. Oh, look at this. What's going on over here? One kind of report, we can't store or export any mixed waste. Okay, so here we've got an issue. Massively filled up. Okay, we are going to buy 1, 2, 3, 4 of these guys. Actually, we might just go with 6 of them. We're going to say you are going to go and unload. Yeah, that's something that could become quite a big problem fairly quickly. We're going to ask you to drop your hazardous waste over there, your mixed waste over here, and your biological waste is going to go into that spot. And that's really only things that's actually working, right? This guy is working full steam to try and work its way through this, right? And then we're slowly getting it through on that side. So hopefully that's reasonable enough. Okay. Okay, now that we've done a little bit of that, right, and I haven't, okay, so all of this is actually built now. Let's quickly go underground and see. So this is powered up, right, and we're high prioritying this connection here to go this way. And then we've got these running where exactly? Into something that doesn't go anywhere, right? So they just don't do anything. Okay, but this side, we've got them coming in. And then it's going into there, and it's going to, well, it's really the input that I would want to manage, right? And then from this side, we're actually potentially sending it back all the way into that direction, right? So I guess that's what I'm trying to do. So it's like 3 megawatt only in here. This is not drawing much power at all, and potentially I could just disconnect it, to be honest, but I'd rather send power into that direction if we need to. But this guy should be, why is the sewage tank overflowing? Is it because we don't actually have a sewage connection? Yes, correct, we don't have a sewage connection, so we do need to do a quick fix of that, and we can just do that straight over here somewhere. That should be fine. All of these things would need a little bit of this, so we might just do something right over here, right? So let's grab a quick sewage, no, not a water substation, a quick sewage substation here. Can't actually see the levels. I don't need to provide sewage connectivity on that side, so we could just do it something like this, presumably. That should be quite okay. And then we can just kind of tie it in right here in the, well, let's do it. Doesn't really matter. If we did it a little bit out on this side, we'll do it a little bit like this, and we will pay for that. We will pay for this, and presumably that will resolve our sewage issue. I'm going to tie that in so we can actually get that to work, and then this should immediately resolve the sewage issue. It does. So now things can work. There's a lot of UF6 waiting to be had here, and these guys are working quite a lot, working well, and our money is looking good, but these things are obviously struggling to be picked up, right? So if we go back in here, is this starting to be picked up? Yes, I can see we have some pickups happening. So let's actually drop that a little bit, and we'll get an extra mixed waste there to be able to work on that. So hopefully all of that should work. Where is this happening? Ooh, I don't know where this is. Okay, yeah, this should be sorted out. Let's quickly have a look at what else is happening here. We wanted to still continue our planning on here to get the additional items going. Have we? Oh yeah, we've got some trucks popping out over on this side, which is good. Those trucks will replace other vehicles as we need them, so that's awesome. We need to have a look at cleaning up some of this area here. But generally speaking, I think Atomograd is now good. Now, the next thing I wanted to do is actually, if we have a look at this, this is actually running over that way. But I guess what we can do, if we have a quick look here, is we should be able to, we should be able to tie in okay. Okay, let's go underground. Where is our second one running to? It's actually on the outside there. So if we wanted to run this guy all the way here, I might do that quickly. So if we did this, We went underneath there. We went up this way. And then we tied it in over here. It's pretty pricey, but I'll go ahead and pay for it. Because what that'll do is that'll give us some additional power into this area here. And hopefully our power issues in Vasestavi will be gone. So hopefully that means this is going to start producing a little bit more power. It's going to be a little bit more useful. And hopefully slowly things will start happening. Okay, guys, well, I guess I'm going to leave it there. We did expand our operation here, or we did start expanding the town of Atomograd-17 here quite nicely. It's quite densely packed in this area. So it's a little first quadrant here that should all be able to provide workers to... to the train station. So it's actually quite nicely packed in there. Oh, this one's already done, ready to go. I like it. I like it. So that's already happening. We've got some couple of extra ones coming online soon. So yeah, that's a nice extra chunk of people moving in. And I kind of like the buildings that's not too super duper big, right? This is like a 8-story or a 12-story building instead of a 50-story building or a 30-story building. That might be a little bit too much, but yeah, all in all, looking pretty good. We will continue to expand here a little bit, but I think one of the next things we want to do, that's a nice little hill up there, maybe we do something on top of that. We do need to continue that road connection, so we've got some easy connectivity across this way, because it's starting to become a little bit long distance in this direction. And then we want to make sure we expand over there so that we've got a little bit more robust dealings with the what am I saying about a little bit more robust dealings with regards to chemicals and plastics. But yeah, all in all, happy that we've got this guy up and running. It's definitely helping our finances quite a lot to be able to export the nuclear fuel to our neighbors. Okay, guys, I will leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next episode. Leave your comments down below if you have any. Bye-bye.